Everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Christine. I know I keep saying I'm back and then I take a break and I'm back and I take a break. Life and health. Um I can't remember what I had said in the previous video, but I've been having problems with my feet and they don't know if it's the diabetes that's come back. I'm still having problems with my feet, but it keeps changing, so we're still trying to figure that out. And migraines up and down, so it's been a struggle. So I'm going to just quickly go over, I have books here, the books that I've read since July. I'm not going to really go into too many details because a lot of these are ones that a lot of people have already read. So I read, and I'm still doing the Triple RC, which a lot of these are for that challenge. I read Recursion by Blake Crouch. I gave it 4. It was really trippy, especially the ending part, and I cried. To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I was quite surprised that I liked it that much. I gave it a 4. And that's, she wrote letters to boys she had crushes on, not breaking up with them, but just getting like closure for her feelings and putting it away. Then I read Angel's Dance by Nalini Singh, and it's part of the Guild Hunter series, and it's like a prequel. And she's an angel with a broken wing that she can't actually fly. So it's kind of like just her little story. I read Foundation by Anne. Oh, and I gave that a 3. Foundation by Anna Guire. I gave that a 4. And something happened in the world and they don't quite know what's going on, if I remember that correctly. Gave it a 4, but yet it's not memorable, or my brain is not remembering it. And then I read Murder Uncorked by Michelle Scott. That is book 1 in, what series is that? The Wine Lover's Mystery. And that is a girl who had a TV series. She was an actress in a TV series, and I think it only lasted either a couple of episodes or a season, and she was working as a waitress, and a couple comes in and he ultimately hires her to work on his vineyard. And I think her first or second day there, she discovers a body in I wouldn't say the vineyard, but it might have been the vineyard, or just like offside the vineyard. Then it's showing I read 2 other books that I read like last year. So I don't know what's going on with Goodreads, but I read those a while ago. Then I read City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. I gave Murder Uncorked 4. City of Fallen Angels I gave 3. It's book 4 in the series, and I didn't get as much Magnus Bane as I wanted. He's my favorite character in that series, so there's that. But I found it kind of not as engaging as the other ones. Then I read The Ugly Truth by Jeff Kinney, and it is book 5 of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and it's my son's favorite series, so I'm reading those. And he's very anxious that the new one's coming out next month on October 27th. This one, him and Rowley get into a fight, and he doesn't talk to him throughout the whole book. Then I read Pawing Through the Past by Reedy Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown, and it's book, I want to say 7 in the, no, 8 Mrs. Murphy series. And I gave that a 4. This one was, they were having their high school reunion. There's 2 of them going on, one 50 years, and one 20 years out from their reunion or graduation. And so it's kind of them going through down memory lane and trying to get a hold of all the people that are still alive that from their graduating class, and people die, you know. Then I read Furiously Happy, a funny book about horrible things by Jenny Lawson. I gave it a 4. It's a nonfiction about her. It was funny, but it was also, I don't want to say stupid. Some of the things she does is kind of like off the wall crazy. And some of the stuff that she, like, I mean, her husband puts up with a lot of stuff, which is surprising because I know my husband would not put up with that stuff. And yeah, so kudos to her husband. Then I read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I gave that a 2. I just found that there was just nothing about it that was really that great. It is best if you go in blind, but it is what it is. Then I read One With You by Sylvia Day. Gave that a 4. It's book 4 in the Crossfire. No, book 5 in the Crossfire series. Oh yeah, that was right. It's the ending of the series. And it had its moments, but Living a Lost Lord by Mary J. Putney. I gave that a 4. That was book 1 in, I'm on my phone, The Lost Lords. And now I can't quite remember what that one was about. Childhood friends, each is a perfect match, but affection doesn't come easily for the noble Duke of Ashton. Why am I not remembering this? I can't remember it. Even reading the description, I can't remember it. His wounds and his wife. I know it was good, but I can't remember it right now. Then I read My Life as a White Trash Zombie by Diana Rowland, and why does it say 2 names? It's the cover artist, Daniel Dos Santos, and it's book 1 in the White Trash Zombie series. And she wakes up in a hospital thinking that she was in an accident, and she's perfectly healthy and fine. But when she's leaving the hospital, she gets this note saying, drink these, 1 every second day for 2 weeks, and go to this job because you have a job waiting. And she's kind of one of those, works at a 7-Eleven for 5 minutes and then works as a delivery driver for 5 minutes. Like, she's constantly changing jobs. And, you know, finds out she's a zombie. It's not a spoiler, it's within the first thing, chapter. Then I read Shanghai Girls by Lisa C. I gave that 5 stars. I didn't like her sister too much. Like, there's the, what are their names? Let's see. May was the younger sister. I can't remember the older sister's name. But she got everything she wanted. When she didn't get it, she whined. But it's about, was it the beginning of World War II, or no, it was in the middle of World War II, I think. Anyways, it was in one of the wars, and I think it was World War II though. And they have to leave. They're like higher up in the social standing, and find out that their dad had sold them to pay off his debts. So they have to make their way to their husbands, and they end up in San Francisco. And it was wonderful. Like, it was a hard book to read, but it was a very well written book. Then I read Unravel Me by Tahira Mafi, the Shatter Me series. Gave it a 3. They're not that great, but they kind of fill the void, I guess. They're quick, easy reads, though. Then I read Misled by Sylvia Day, which is the Carnal Thirst series, and this is book 1. I gave it a 3. What was this one about? I don't remember this one either. Special Task Force Agent Derek Atkinson has a craving for luscious vampire Sable Taylor, but Sable is a bounty hunter, which makes him direct competition in the capture of wanted criminals. Despite the obvious attraction between them, she won't give him a chance, and after 2 years he's tired of waiting for her to come around. So he's got a plan to give them both what they want, each other. I honestly don't remember that. My comment was I would have liked more story and background rather than the little given. While she knows how to write sex scenes, they can be quite vulgar at times. And again, I read this like when I was a kid, and it's showing up that I read it last month. So then I read Neil Flambe and the Crusader's Curse by Kevin Sylvester. It's book 3 in the Neil Flambe series. It's a middle grade book, and he's got to discover why he's got this curse on his family name. Then I read Murder Served Simply by Isabella Allen. It is book 1 or 2, 3, in the Amish Quilt Shop Mystery, and it's a holiday one, and her family comes from out of town with her ex-fiance. Kind of stirs up some trouble. It's a cozy mystery. And she's got like a boyfriend, kind of not quite boyfriend, and he's the sheriff. And of course, dead bodies happen while the quilt show is going on for holiday. Then I read Cause and Effect by Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown, and that's book 9, if I can remember. Yeah, book 9, and which one was this one about? It's winter. Turns up dead. I think this was at the hospital. People from the hospital are like the politics of hospital staff and the goings on, and a maintenance man, I think, is killed. And then I read If You Were Mine by Bella Andre, and this is book 4 or 5 in the Sullivan series. It is, what's his name? Zach's book. There's 5 brothers and 2 sisters, or 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Zach gets, his brother dumps a puppy in his lap because they're going away, so he has to take care of the puppy. So he's having problems with the puppy, and he goes to a puppy trainer, and things go on from there. And I read The Baby Doctor's Bride by Jessica Matthews. It's a Harlequin medical. I thought that I read that one earlier. But Ethan is a retired doctor, I think. And because of things in his past. And she's like the town doctor, but the other doctor goes away because of somebody who has died or is dying, and she needs help. Then I read I Only Have Eyes for You by Bella Andre. See, I think some of these are out of order. I don't know what's going on with them. That one is, yeah, book 4. I read book 5, book 4 way before 5, so something is up with Goodreads. And I don't know what's going on. That's weird. Every Trick in the Book by Lucy Arlington is book 2 in the novel idea, I think. Yeah, novel idea series, cozy mystery series. And what was going on with that one? I gave it a 3. Lila, she seems to put herself into the mysteries and takes things personally when it has nothing to do with her at all. And she's just an editor at a, not like a small publishing firm. Then I read Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I gave it a 4. I think everybody knows there's no sickness, there's no illness. People die by random reasons. Like the Scythes have quotas that they have to do, and they have to not be biased. Like they can't have everybody who's a white millionaire dying, or everybody who's a Chinese American dying, or it has to be like from all walks of life. And they have to take on new trainees. And I read Murder by the Glass by Michelle Scott. That's book 2 in the Wine Lover series mystery. And that one, I gave it a 3. Yeah, I figured out the book halfway, like the ending halfway through, which kind of sucks, but I read so many of them that it kind of is a given. Oh yeah, that one's, she was flitting between, she likes this guy, but she likes this guy. And when she's with this guy, she likes him, but when she's with this guy, she likes him more. It's annoying. And then I read The Season by Sarah McLean. This one is about 3 friends. There is a little bit of a mystery in it, but it's their coming out season. And I kind of wondered, it's a standalone, but I wanted kind of the other 2 girls' stories. So hopefully that'll be changed, but it's a historical romance. Then I read Fracture Me by Tara Maffei, and that is book 3. Or is that the short story? 2.5. I gave it a 3, actually a 2.5. Really not a fan of Adam. Of course, I'm not a fan of Warner either, so there's that. So I did read, I still have them here. Next, Incarceron by Catherine Fisher. I gave this a 4. I really liked it. It's about a futuristic prison where all the bad people are in this prison that nobody knows where it is. And the girl, what's her name? Claudia. Her father is the warden of the prison, but they live, it's called the protocol, and the protocol says that they have to live without technology, and there's tons of technology behind the scenes, and they have to live like in the 1800s with horse and buggies and stuff like that, and queens, and she ends up somehow, I'm not talking to somebody that's in the prison, and he doesn't believe that there's an outside of the prison. So I gave it a 4. I liked it. I flew through this in 2 days. So next I read Mrs. Maddox by Jamie McGuire. I gave it a 3. It's just like a little in-between short story of I can't remember the characters' names. Well, Maddox, Wi-Fi slow. Travis and Abby, because I'm not going to say much. It is what it is. And then I read Titanic, A Survivor Story by Colonel Archibald Gracie. I gave this a 2. And if you know me in real life, that's sad, because I love Titanic stuff. This was by one of the people that survived the Titanic sinking, and the whole book is pretty much name dropping of who he spoke to on the boat, who he hung out with on the boat, who he survived with on the, on the raft, what he did to help out everybody in trying to get off the boat. And that was pretty much it. Like, he was self-congratulating himself quite a bit. And he was first class. So, yeah, that was sad. Because I was so looking forward to reading that book. Then I read With Every Letter by Sarah Sundin. I gave it 4. It's a Christian fiction about women who go doing flights, like ambulatory flights. She's a nurse. And I thought it was really good, but a little bit too long. A lot of it, and it was a slow burn. She was writing letters to back and forth as pen pals. They didn't know who each other were. But she figured out who he was, and this was the problem I had. She knew who he was, but she refused to say who she was to him because of misconceived perceptions of herself. Because she was part, was it no, not Japanese. She's part white and she's part Polynesian. So she's considered an exotic look. So it drove me nuts to, it was just, I don't know, that part drove me nuts. And most Christian fiction books that I've read are not that heavy into throwing religious content at you, and this one was a little bit, as the book got on, threw more religious content at you. So just be aware of that going in. I don't mind it. Sometimes it gets to be a bit much, but they're really good. It was a really good book. Then I read my first, actually I thought I read this before, my first audiobook. And the only reason I did that was because it was short, and I was able to sit here and concentrate and do mindless stuff. I still don't know how I feel about audiobooks, because if I'm doing something else, I tend to focus on that something else and tune out stuff. So anyways, it was Cupcakes and Ink by Helena Hunting. Yeah, see, I did not read this September 9th. I read this last month, I believe. Anyways, it was a prequel to, what is this series called? Clipped Wings, and it's like the prequel. So she is somebody new in town, and she lives across the street from a tattoo parlor. And so she works in the bookstore that's underneath her apartment. The guy who works in the tattoo parlor, it's his aunt that owns the bookstore, and they kind of meet up and they kind of daydream about each other, but you can tell it's going to be a racy series. And then I read Dirty Lies by Emma Hart. It is book 3 in the Dirty Brothers series, and this is the Burke brothers, sorry. Aiden and Jesse. Jesse drove me nuts. I gave it 4 stars. Jesse was she was angry all the time, and she was just mean and derogatory, and how can you fall in love with somebody like that? It was just, it's a fake dating relationship because their manager wants them to have a cleaner image, even though 2 of the brothers are nice and clean and 2 aren't really that bad. But so they've known each other forever. And the other thing that drove me nuts about this is she has a younger sister who's obsessed with the band in the book, and Jesse and Aiden grew up with each other, and I know there's a few years between her and her sister, but how does her sister not know the guys? Jesse hung out with them all the time, so that kind of didn't really work for me. So, oh yeah, I had Murder by the Glass with me too. That's caught up. Those were all the books that I read maybe a couple that I read previously, but it is what it is. So currently I'm reading The Haunting of Maddie Clare by Simone St. James. This is about a girl who kind of she works for a temporary agency and gets notified that there's this job that they needed a female, and it's to help a ghost hunter with this barn haunting of Maddie Clare. And Maddie is a young woman who came to the Clare's house crying, dirty, bloody, and then a few years later she hung herself in their barn, and now the barn is haunted. She hates men. They don't know why or what's going on with her. So it's a little bit slow to get going. I've been kind of busy, so I haven't been able to be sucked into it yet. It's Simone St. James's first book, and so it's good. So far it's really good. I just haven't had the time to sit down and read. And my son is home, so okay, I'm doing a video.
Right now?
Yeah.
About time.
Shut up.
Why?
I'm almost done, so.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Go. Didn't even realize what time it was. I guess I'm gonna have to edit. Yeah, I do. Alrighty. The other book I'm reading is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Not liking it too much. It's dry. It's insta-lovey. It's why doesn't he move to a warmer climate so that he doesn't have to change because he doesn't want to change? That kind of crap. So far it's a 2 for me. And then I might read one of these this week. Kiss of Midnight by Laura Adrian. I don't know if it's a Midnight Breed novel, so it's book 1. Not too sure about what it is. I'll know a little bit more later on. The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Addison Allen. I think this was book 2 of the Garden Spells series, and I started reading it a while ago. Like, I read the first book 2 years ago, so I'm not sure. I think so. And then By Hook or by Crook by Betty Hetchman, book 3 in the Crochet Mystery series. And it's just a book, a book of bunch of people who like to crochet, solve mysteries. And then Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Cabin Fever by Jeff Kinney, book, I can't remember, 8. Is this book 8? Never mind. 6. Book 6. So that's what I'm going to be reading this week. Never mind.
No, what?
I figured it out. Number 6.
Oh.
Oh, he's got Apollo.
My cat.
My cat.
My cat.
So that's caught up. I will talk to you later if you're still around. Still around. Oh, talking. If you made it this far. Oh, and hubby's home now too. So I will go and talk to you later. Bye.